Yeah, bro. So what do you think of this beer? 805.
Mine's is empty.
Is empty? Oh, I'm about to go get you another one real quick.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? So we're back with another Raw Talk episode. So you already know the deal. Might be long. This is gonna be wedding talk. So really, grab a drink, go to the gym, just listen. You don't really have to watch this. This is more of like hidden gem. Rick right here, he does a little bit of weddings, a little bit of everything. But today specifically, I've been seeing him shoot a lot of weddings, and I feel like it's good to cover on that topic because I myself shoot a lot of weddings. People don't know that. My girl actually runs the wedding business, and I'm just like the second shooter. But I really want to cover up on this and talk to you guys like whether wedding is a good place to be at, is a good place to be like filming or taking photos, the benefits, the negatives. I feel like today will be a good way to just talk about it. It's gonna be straight raw talk, nothing scripted. That's really what this is about. Rick Productions, let us know a little bit about yourself real quick, and then we'll just jump straight to it.
How you guys doing? Rick Productions. I've been doing this since middle school. I love videography making, guys, filmmaking. I do anything from weddings, freelance work, work with brands, lifestyle clothing brands. I work with music videos too. Do a little bit of everything, and I'm glad to be here at Mario Visions. I'm not sure if I fucked that up.
All good, man. Glad to have you. So let's just jump. Let's get started.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump straight to it because that's really why I feel like people will tune into this video, and that's wedding videography. I noticed, obviously, like you were shooting clothing brands, music videos, and lately you've been doing wedding videography. And you kind of told me before we even started with this podcast is really, why you started going for it. You got your regular job now or stuff like that. But what do you find, I guess, positive in the wedding videography business? And then we'll jump into the negative after that. Like what's for someone to know about if they're jumping into wedding videography or stuff like that?
Well, for wedding videography, there's a lot more. It's open to a lot more clientele for sure. So you get like a broader audience when it comes to wedding videography, and there's a lot of like resources out there to help you figure out how to shoot weddings. At the end of the day, you kind of get the same schedule breakdown that from a wedding, and it's a lot easier in that term because you're not stressed out about what kind of treatment you're gonna come up with. If it was a music video, you already know kind of the rundown of how weddings work. It's a lot easier, like I said. And for me personally, weddings versus like music videos, it's a bigger bang for my buck. So since I have a 9-to-5 and I'm tight on timing, 1 or 2 weddings a month, and I'm already I'm set. I think I'm comfortable with that. So that's why I'm leaning more towards wedding videos now.
And the one thing I noticed with weddings too, bro, is like I feel like weddings not a bad thing. I feel like a lot of people put like a negative thing to it, like, oh, you shoot weddings, like it's stressful, and I don't think it's stressful. I honestly think because I've shot so many, I'm more chilling throughout the day because I know what I got to get. But I feel like as a wedding videographer, because I shoot a lot as well, I would say the big benefit of it is you get valued so much more. Like in the music video or other, whether it's clothing brand, commercial, you're just a videographer to them. In the weddings, they know you got to capture their day, and that's for years and years to come. So I feel like they treat you with more respect compared to music videos. If they're not paying you a certain budget and it's a low budget, they're going to treat you like shit. You're just a guy with a camera, and I'm paying you, so you're basically my bitch. That's the way I view it. Like, that's why I like the wedding industry. Like, as far as you get value, they look at you like, oh, you're capturing my day. We're gonna treat you right. We're gonna make sure. They run the day through you with the coordinator. Like, oh, there's a time schedule. What can we do to fit you in? What works best for you? You're the priority. Compared to music videos, you're not. You're just like a guy with a camera. The priority is the girls, the studio, whatever it is to look good. But we're fucking the last. So that's why I still shoot weddings.
Yeah.
Because of that, like.
It's crazy.
I don't know if you feel the same way on that.
No, yeah, I 100% agree with you because I kid you not, you get a lot more cooperation with a wedding couple than you do even sometimes with an artist, because the artist just expects you to like deliver, With the artist, there needs to be, it's not the same with a wedding couple. With the artist, there needs to be, what's that word? There needs to be some kind of chemistry to get the end product with an artist that you don't always get with an artist. With a wedding couple, it's like, hey, I'm already paying you big bucks. I'm gonna help you, tell me what you need. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's different vendors there on the wedding day, but they're for sure. They're always looking at you and what you're doing. They're not looking at a DJ. They're not looking at, so there's a lot of cooperation in that aspect. And plus, when they come to you, it's just like because they love your work. You know what I'm saying?
You just get treated a lot better. Again, what I guess another positive with the wedding videography, because it's not as bad as everyone like claims it to be. I will say with the wedding videography, they hire you for your style. It's not like a music video where they might hire you and then they're trying to make everything go their way. In weddings, it's like whatever they sing, they're not on your show. They're not saying that you get this shot. They're letting you do you because they're paying you, whether it's $3,000, whatever the price you're putting out there, they're paying you a certain level because, you know, they're seeing what you're capable of and they want that memory to last forever. So they're paying you whatever it's worth in order to go with that style. Music videos or any other thing, like they don't really value. And this is why I kind of tell people when it comes to wedding videos, like to become a videographer, like there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like it's another good source of income. If you make it fun, you know, the couple, if you know the groom, you know, most of the time, I don't know if you dealt with it, but groomsmen, they're always drinking, having a good time. Yeah. I normally end up drinking with them. Like half the time, like we'll drink together, bro. Like at the end of the night, we're drinking and it's a good time. Cause like it's all about like just figuring out how they are. If they're too serious, then, you know, just make it as business. But they're freaking having fun from the start. I start joking, goofing around with them. And before you know it, it's fun.
What you just mentioned right now is like, for those of you who are watching, you'll most likely follow us because you like our work. Number one tip is offer your videographer, your wedding videographer, a drink. You know what I'm saying? Just offer him a drink. You know, it's true what they say. Like, we have a drink or two in our system. Best believe we're gonna be on our knees, on our backs, getting the tight shots. Like, you know, we're gonna be we're gonna be like, it's gonna take a little bit of weight off of us, and we're gonna know already that it's gonna, like, it's cool. You know, like, we're cool people. You know, because we've been. I recently been in an event where it's just like me and my second shooter are asking ourselves like, damn, like, is it even cool for us to go get a drink? Or, you know,
I've been in a situation like
that. It's just like, could we go get a drink? You know, have our
loosen up too, you know.
And then and please keep in mind to have a seat for your vendors. You know, I mean, it's not required, it's not necessary, but like sometimes when they show appreciation, like, hey, you're actually on the seating chart, and here's your plates, versus like, oh, grab your plate and go eat somewhere else. Like that's always best, you know. That always feels great too.
I always one thing I always tell them, I don't know if you do this, but I put it down in the contract, but I also tell them, I'm like, can you please, I will recommend that we get fed first. That way we're done with that, and like we're ready to go whenever that time is, like, because normally when you're done eating, that's normally after the grand entrance. So then everyone starts eating. So I was telling, like, I would recommend for us to eat first if there's any way to get the coordinator, or for us just to get it out the way. So that way we're like ready to go. We're just standing like, all right, so whenever the next event happens, like we're ready. Compared to you don't get fed until like later on, but by that time the bouquet toss, whatever, you know, things start happening for you, don't end up eating right.
I mean, this last event, forget the seating. This last event, I don't think they even I don't even think they plan to feed us. We had to ask the manager of the building if, like, hey, you guys got 2 extra plates for us, because I mean they only ordered a certain amount, and we're not even on the, like, you know, we're not even on for the menu. So the manager of the place was actually cool enough to say, yeah, we'll for sure we'll get you guys a plate, you know. But it's just like, wow, to get to that point, it's just like no consideration. But you had just mentioned something right now. What was it? The contract. That's like, I've only shot a handful of weddings, but that's really good though. You go as you learn, and from my experience, for sure that's gonna be in my contract next time.
It's not gonna look bad. Like when you explain to them and you tell them like, oh, you know, but the reason why I recommend for us to get fed first is to get it out the way, and then you guys are gonna start eating along with me. And then we're at the same timetable, compared to like, oh, you already ate and we're about to eat, but we got to get up because we got to start shooting. Like that way we're like, we have our juice flowing. We're not freaking like hungry and like unmotivated because we're starving. Yeah. And then when you explain to them like that, they kind of like, oh, no, for sure, we'll take care of you and this and that. And like, they're always cool with that. But you got to explain. You can't just be like, I got to get fed, you know, because then they'll be like, what the hell? Like, y'all ass is working. But when you explain to them in an appropriate manner and put in the contract, at that point you're kind of winning, because now you have your own style, you know, like you have your,
man, it's a trip. Every the thing of what I love about shooting weddings is that every wedding, every event is like literally, like, even though it's kind of the same schedule outline for every single wedding, it's still an adventure every single time. You know, you learn a lot. Once you think you learned everything from weddings, every time you go in, like,
there's always something else, like, you know,
and it feels great. I have a coworker right now that he's getting into weddings, and I'm recommending him how to send off his invoices, what to do, what's the questions he need to ask. And I've always been like a helping hand. I don't know, getting into wedding videography, did you ever like reach out to anyone and then they kind of like were just very closed off, like no, like go figure it out yourself?
Like, oh, trying to get help?
Or they'll like slide you there like, hey, buy my guide. Buy my $200 guide on how to shoot weddings and stuff like that. I don't get it. People won't even like tell you the gear that they work with. Like, people are so closed off, and with me it's a little different. Like, I have a lot of new guys asking me like, hey, what do I do in this situation? What do I do in this situation? And at that point it feels so good, because it's like you've been shooting weddings enough and you're experienced enough, just enough to help somebody out. I don't know if when you first start getting started, if anybody like.
So I was actually blessed because I probably did like 10 weddings, but I was a second shooter. So I got all the questions by just seeing everything in person. And then my homie gave me the contract, and then he kind of told me like, all right, this is kind of what you got. Like, you can tweak this if you want, this and that. But for the most part, like, because I did 10 weddings, by the time I did my own first one, it was already like, it was basically like I was comfortable, so I was ready to go. And so I kind of learned by that rather than like contacting someone. So I was kind of like blessed on that end, like to have videographers like Westmont Films, or I think he's like Motion Poetry now or something. Right. So yeah, it's like I kind of got gifted in that area, got a little spoiled.
Oh,
like,
so you were someone's like assistant before you became your own?
I probably did like 6 to 8 with him, and then I did like 4 or 6 with some other dude. So I actually probably did more, to be honest. Probably did like 15, and I wasn't getting paid a lot. But this is when I was trying to build myself, and I was like taking weddings was, I think we all started as a wedding video. I don't. Dude, how did you start? Was it wedding or?
I started my first big event. I don't even like talking about it, but my first big event was a quinceañera. This was about 4 or 5 years ago. Like, there was no contract. You know what I'm saying? There was no contract. It was just all word of mouth. I at some point I didn't even know who my point of contact was anymore. Like, I was a college kid. You know, it's just like, it was bad. They paid me like half of it, and when I delivered it, they were just like, oh, we're not paying you the other half because this is not what we asked for. So I delivered like a trailer. It was a 12-minute wedding video. Okay. I mean, I'm sorry, quinceañera highlight video. But I was smart enough to give them like a 2 to 3 minute trailer of what to expect, and then they were like, no, this is not what we want. And honestly, at the end of the day, I just felt like they just didn't want to pay for it. And I don't want to talk about any more of the details because it kind of gives it away, who I'm talking about and what I'm talking about. But that was my first situation, and I had an assistant and everything. I just jumped right in, and it was nasty, man. The parents were giving me like ugly stares. They didn't want to cooperate with me. The photographers that they hired like were just assholes. They didn't even want to work with me. I was being cool, introducing myself, and they're like, yeah, whatever. Like, you know, like, I was just like, damn, dude, it was bad.
So I want to pick up on that, bro. So the one thing that for everyone to understand is, if you're a wedding videographer or a wedding photographer, either or, if you don't have a team, or even if you have a team, but let's say the bride and the groom chose your team, whether it's photo video side, and then they're bringing another video or photo team, the one thing you're going to encounter is they can be dicks. They can be ass. Like, you know, they can like not care, like they're gonna get all in your way, and then they get mad when you barely try to squeeze in something. And I've gotten that so many times, bro, where it's like I'm a cool guy, bro, so I'm letting the photographers get their shots, and then I go in there real quick to direct the client to like get my shot, and they're looking at me like time's ticking. I'm like, bro, you have all the time with them. I just need like 5 minutes. Right. They're taking like 30 minutes with photos. I'm like, bro, I don't need that much time.
Dude, that happened to me in my last wedding event.
Yeah,
the photographer was like taking his sweet time, getting like 100 shots. I'm like, dude, I could have got all these shots in like a shorter amount of time, and I could have switched to video real quick, got video. Like, I would have had this done like, he took like an hour with them. So by the time he was done with them, the couple was like, dude, we want to go eat, we want to go drink. And I'm just like, dude. So I always recommend, if you offer photography package and videography package, like, perfect. Like, why go with like two different vendors?
Ones. It's better to go with the same, because then they have like a flow.
Then they get in. Then it's just like they try to like prep with you, like, okay, I'm gonna be here for these shots and I'm gonna do this with these shots, and then like when the ceremony starts, like they don't do anything that they just discussed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're in your way. You're like, dude, come on, I'm gonna be here. You're gonna be there. Okay, cool. And then the ceremony starts and we're just like getting in each other's way. It's a horrible.
And I will state on that end to just as soon as you walk in, you're gonna see a photographer or videographer, whatever your role is gonna be in that day. Greet them. Be like, hey, what's up? My name is whatever. Nice to meet you. From there, you'll get right off the bat, you'll get a sense of vibe of who they are, how they are. If they're cool as hell, then that's good. You're gonna have a great day. But you know when they're gonna be bad. It's just that gut feeling by the way they respond or they greet you.
Yeah.
They could be like all business, like relax, bro. Like we can all get our shots. But unfortunately, there will be times like that. One thing I do want to add on to this podcast or whatever the hell. I don't even know if it's a podcast, bro. But I don't even know what to call it. But it's raw talk. Don't be this filmmaker. Photographer actually, either or. So I was doing a wedding, bro. This is a long time ago. It was probably like 3 years ago, 3.5, 4. So it was a kid. He was probably like 20 years old. It was me and my homie doing video, and the kid was doing photography. So the day's going by, whatever, and I'm talking to him. He's a cool guy. And then he was like, I was like, oh, so you shoot weddings? He was like, nah, I only did this because it was good money, but I shoot boxing. And I'm like, what the hell? So like, you know, he didn't know how to shoot like that, right?
Uh-huh.
It was his first time shooting a wedding. He even told me it was his first wedding. So I'm like, okay. So in my head, I'm like, you shouldn't do this, bro. It's like, this is someone's day. But I mean, this is for me to basically tell you guys, don't do this unless you have experience. Don't just jump into it for the money, or be straight up honest with the client, because it can ruin it. But I'm gonna fast forward to, it was we're doing the intimate shots right after the ceremony.
Right.
I was getting all the video footage with the groomsmen, the bridesmaids, and all that. Then I step away, bro. As soon as I step away, so I think I did like 7 minutes. I'm quick on it. Like I know what I'm getting, so 7 minutes and I'm out. It was a photographer, so I told the photographer, all right, bro, you got him. Like it's all you now for the next 30 minutes. Like all I needed was 5 minutes. And as I'm walking away, all I hear was, you have nothing, because he didn't know how to pose. He didn't know anything. As a photographer, bro, that's like where that's where you start stepping in. Like the other moments are more candid photos. But once that happens, the bridesmaids, groomsmen, that's where you start setting them up for photos. So they want poses. They want you to guide them. He didn't know none of that. So as I'm walking, there was a bridesmaid said, you got nothing? So as I'm walking, bro, I heard it. I'm like, no way. Like he doesn't know anything, so because he already told me. So I'm like, yeah, fuck. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be a good guy. I was like, so I turned around and I was like, look, bro, I'm gonna handle them. I'm gonna pose them for your ass, get the photos, bro, and that's it. So I turned around and I was like, boom, boom, boom. I set them up and everything. But the reason why I turned around is because of the bridesmaid. Not only did she say like, you got nothing, she said, someone give me a phone so I can show them on Pinterest. I was like, no, oh my god. So at that moment, I felt bad, and I turned around because
that's how I learned. Pinterest.
Yeah, Pinterest is a good place. So
I've done engagement photos where I just like have a notepad in the back of I'm like, oh, just give me a second. And I was just, like, flipping the notepad.
So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you a gem on that end. I'm gonna tell everyone a gem. This is what I did. So you don't do that, and you don't look like you're on your phone doing this. What I did was my SD card will be empty, but I'll take photos of the thing. So I'm looking at my camera like as if I'm adjusting the settings.
Oh, this guy.
But the photos are in there, and then from there I'm able like, okay,
you're just getting better and better at this, because last time you were like, bro, just put it on your screensaver. So when it looks like you're checking your time, you just like looking at all the photos.
All the photos, like you're like, you can do collage on your phone. That's one way. But now what I learned is like, you just take different photos and scroll through them and then start shooting them. So that for the intimate shots, like you'll have an SD card. For the most part, it's all gonna be like, candid photos. Yeah. But once that happens, switch the SD card to the one that has those photos. Scroll through them, and right away, like boom, boom. And then like as you're looking, like it's just kind of scroll through one, and be like the next one, like all right, we're good. But you already have the next one ready to go.
That's smart. That's smart.
And that's a gem. Like I'll tell you guys, it works every time, and you don't look because it's so quick. It's there. Just scroll it and go on to the next photo and get ready to pose them again. So that helped me out a lot. And again, that just comes with experience. In the wedding thing, I won't tell you guys to just jump in it. It's good money, but at the same time, if you're jumping in there for the money, it can cause it could backfire.
I did what I do best. I learned on YouTube, and I jumped right into my first wedding. Aside from the Sweet 16, the quinceañera that I did, I had a horrible experience in. Mm-hmm. I jumped into my first wedding, and I think what made it work out and everything, beautiful wedding video. I love it. And the day was great. What made the day was that the couple was so easy to work with, and they were so humble. And to this day, we have each other on Instagram. Like you create friendships out of that, and that's when you know that you're like it was a success. But I had just jumped right into like wedding videography. Watched a few YouTube videos on how to do it, and I jumped right in.
So mine's when I was learning wedding videos, it was Matt Johnson.
That's a good one.
Who was the other one? White and Rivery. They were dope as hell.
don't-
Forestry Films or something like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think those three are the ones that definitely caught my eye. If you guys know of any other ones, leave a comment below on that for people to kind of like look at different profiles. But those are my top three. However, I outgrew them because eventually they got too cinematic. Or like it just became, everything looked staged. Everything.
Okay.
I don't like to stage my stuff. If I can get the groom getting ready on his own, like I'll tell him like, oh, get ready right there. But I let him just do it. I don't tell him like, oh, wait. Like let him do it. And that's why there's two camera angles and just capture it as he's doing it. That way, like it's organic. He goes about his day. He's enjoying his day. He doesn't seem like you're pulling him away from life. Like it's his day. Let him live. Like
that's a really good point that you bring up, because right now in the world of taking out your phone and shooting a quick TikTok video where that gets more attention than a whole cinematic movie looking video, you know what I'm saying? So just get your quick and candid shots and you're good. A lot of people out there, they just want to see a video that they're in and they're happy, bro. Honestly.
Yeah.
We take forever to, like, I take forever to do my wedding videos.
Same here.
But I already know that, like, I could deliver whatever
in one
it
day
is, and then they're gonna be happy because they see themselves in the video, which is not the right way to do it, because then at that point you're just doing it for the money and not because.
Yeah.
But I really like what you said. It's like more candid than staged.
Yeah,
because
like,
they are really stiff too. They like
like they're like this. They're like oh, like why? Like nah, just sound like go by the window, bro. Like just because it's clean lighting and just go ahead and do your
just
thing.
Start doing your thing.
Do your thing. Like just buckle it up, loosen yourself up. You know, just do your thing. And that's normally what I do. I try to get organic. If I was to post my weddings on here, like they'll know that like I should probably do that. But I don't like really mixing all my stuff all over the place. But it's a good thing to do. So
you should put like little, like, I know it's a lot of editing, but you should put like little boxes.
Oh, for like
as you're talking, you're like showing your shots and stuff like that.
That's true, huh? Just to show the candid
moment
or
something.
That's really what I'm known for, because I'm away from the whole cinematic. Like it was a point, bro. I stopped shooting weddings for I think a year and a half, and that was because I got so caught up with White and Rivery and Matt Johnson, the way they were doing their weddings, which is over cinematic. You're staging everything, and then you're shooting you're editing the wedding video, and then you're editing the next one, and before you know it, they all look the same. They're staged. There's no excitement. It's just so serious, so cinematic, and I'm like, dude, like this is like I'm looking at it like if it was my wedding, bro. To be honest, this is the way I'm gonna go about my wedding. Me and my girl talked about it.
Really?
I do not want. No, I'm gonna tell the videographer, look, bro, I'm gonna pay you. Bring 2 videographers. I'm gonna make sure we set
all with different talents.
nah.
All main shooters and stuff.
I'm gonna pay. I don't know for a fact that's gonna be my top quality that I'm gonna have to pay for.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell them like bring 2. I'm gonna make sure I'm separate from my girl. Like get me, then go to my girl. So both of you guys are together. Do not bug us. Like just capture the day. I want this shit raw, genuine.
Yeah.
Don't tell me to stage this and that. Like that's corny. It's cheesy. I'm over that. I've edited those videos and I'm over that. I like when they're smiling, they're having a good time. They're with their homies, their groomsmen, drinking.
I think the hardest part about us getting married, bro, is that knowing that we're videographers, we're just going like the behind our mind at all times. We're just gonna be like looking at what they're doing.
No, that's why I'm gonna pay top dollar.
And then if they pose you a certain way, like, wait, shouldn't it be this way? Yeah, you're gonna have to pay top dollar.
Nah, I'm paying top dollar, so I already know whoever I'm getting is like, yo, do your thing.
You're gonna have to get someone that you really love.
Yeah,
like, you're gonna have to fly somebody out if you have to. Like,
and I'm okay with that, because I know because when I get married, it's not gonna be like crazy. It'll be probably like 50 people. I'm not trying to go crazy like party like that.
Nah.
But yeah, like so I guess kind of to like wrap this whole podcast up, raw talk. What would you tell filmmakers on the wedding industry as far as like what's a negative? Because I don't think we even covered that. Like what's a negative that you feel like you'll experience throughout a wedding day in case someone's trying to get through it, or something you encountered on a wedding that you learned from for others to take away?
Well, for people who are just getting started, because I know there's a lot of people that are out there with experience, but for people that are just getting started, I would say, you know what, one good thing is get you guys I don't know how you do it, but get you guys like an invoice app, because what happens is that when people are inquiring for your prices and you're just DMing them and throwing prices out there, or get yourself like a portfolio where it's like a brochure of your prices and what it comes with, rather than just tell it, because I see this a lot. People are like, oh, $3,000, they'll just throw it out there and this is what it comes with through text. So at that point, it just seems like you're just like, the numbers are just coming out of your head, you know, versus like a nice laid out invoice. That's one thing. Another thing is just like music videos, don't underprice yourself. I mean, unless you're really getting started, don't underprice yourselves in any like wedding projects, guys, because just like music videos, the ones that are asking for discounts are usually the ones that are going to be the hardest to work with. They're going to play you for every dollar
You said dollar.
They're going to play you for every dollar that, you know, they spent on you. They're going to, and that's just the way the world works sometimes. But I don't know, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, I would just say weddings is not as bad as you guys may think. I would probably say second shoot a few weddings if you can. Reach out to a filmmaker, like, hey, if you need help, maybe be the third one where like he doesn't need you, you're not getting paid, but you're seeing the way he operates, you're seeing the way the second shooter operates, and get an idea of that, and then get the experience. Maybe tell him like, hey bro, like I'll give you the footage, but is there any way I can keep it so I can promote it? Because what I used to do with all those second shooters, I was starting off, but I didn't charge a lot. And what I used all those weddings to post little 30-second Instagram promos, and that allowed people to be like, for me to show them like, hey, I shoot weddings, book me.
Smart, because it's still your angle too. It's not like you're grabbing that guy's final work.
So they were watching that, and that's how I build up. So if you guys are trying to build something up, I would say take a pay cut, especially if you're like experiencing the music video and all that. That means you know video at least. So take a pay cut and do it. But again, as Rick said, it's not like a music video where it's based on budget, because all projects are different in music videos. For the weddings, unless you're being flown out and all that, really, I have a website and there's set prices for them. Obviously, there's times where like things will be tweaked. Like I have a 6, 8, 10-hour package. The reason why I do that, before I used to do like, we'll cover the whole day up to 10, 12 hours. They keep you.
That 6-hour package is tricky, man. They always gonna shoot for that 6-hour package.
Well, that's what they get.
And then they got a whole wedding day laid out, and they're like, no, that's not gonna work. I'm telling you that right now. That's not gonna
well, thankfully for me, we haven't encountered like that, because they see it on my website. It's like you have 6, 8, and 10. I don't do no more full day 10 to 12, because they start undervaluing you. They'll keep you there because they're like, you're here for 12 hours, so you could be sitting down for like 2 hours doing nothing. And I learned at the beginning. So make sure you guys do 6-hour package, 8-hour, 10-hour. If you guys want to do 12-hour package, do that. Obviously, there's times like I'll tell you guys, make sure you guys Playboy in that package, where depending on the location, it might go up a little bit more. But for the most part, when you shoot so many weddings, you start getting the feel of how it may be. If let's say your cheapest package, like for example, for mine is a 6-hour package. My girl runs the wedding thing, so I don't know exactly what's the price on that. But if somebody can't pay that, I think the 6 hours we charge maybe like $1,800 or something like that. So 6 hours, $1,800. If they can't pay that, then I told my girl like, all right, if they want to work with us though, and they really like our work, all right, tell them like, we can't do audio. Scratch the audio out. We're able to do that now. It'll just be like a song throughout the whole thing, or offer them payments. Tell them like, hey, can we do payments? We're okay with like, you could pay 50%, 25%, and the other 25% when it's done.
I used to do that. Like, hey, this is my set price. $1,700 is my set price, and they'll be like, oh well, can you do $1,200? And then I will argue with them like, oh, I don't, okay, like, and then if I'm desperate, like, yeah, okay, let's do the $1,200. And that was the wrong way to do it. But like you said, you take that package and what it has to offer. Like, okay, I could do $1,200, but it's gonna be one camera and not 2 camera angles. The audio, I'm not gonna bring the pro audio. I'm not gonna bring the lighting. Like, you got to take away what because if you take your $1,700 package and then they end up getting that same package for $1,200, you're already like undervaluing your work. Yeah. They're like, oh, dude, it doesn't mean, But when you start taking away from it, it's like, okay, I am really getting what I'm paying for. That's what I'm paying for. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? $1,500. Oh, okay, the audio's gone. Like, oh shit. So that's where the other, $300 come from, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
and in weddings, do not get scared to do that, because it's a once in a lifetime thing where they're going to be willing to pay. Not saying like, oh, charge them because you can take on money, but it's like they're willing to, they just don't want to, because they're already spending so much money on like throughout every other thing they're adding on to it. But if they want you, stick to your pricing, find out a way to work out with them, like the deal, take extra payments instead of, I guess if you guys really don't want to lose on a client, you could, because normally for me, I get paid in full the day of the shoot. I get paid 25% deposit or 30%. I forgot how my girl has it, and then the remaining is the day of the shoot. But if we want to work a deal, it hasn't happened yet, but if someone wanted to work a deal, it's like, okay, that's fine. We'll take a 25, we'll take another 25, or 35, 40, whatever, and then the remaining will be before I deliver the video, I want the full. So that gives them time to save up.
One really good point that I want to mention to everybody, and this goes with anything. This goes with wedding videos, lifestyle projects. This goes for music videos even. A lot of us start from nothing, and we want it, like every $100 means a lot to us, but we gotta stop putting ourselves into our mindsets into other people's mindsets, because honestly, a lot of the people that are like paying you the least have enough money to pay for what you're asking for, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to you? So if I'm just a kid and I'm asking Mr. Mario that has probably his sweet 9 to 5, he's about to get married, he has his life going, drives a sweet car, and I'm a kid, I'm coming at you like, hey, $1,200, and then you're automatically gonna be like, oh, I can't afford that. Let's do $800, $600 even. You know, and then me, because I'm in the mindset of that I'm broke, I'm gonna be like, man, maybe he really can't afford that. Like, stop getting tricked that a lot of these people really just don't got the budget for it, because a lot of these people have the budget for it, but it's just a lifestyle to be very cheap nowadays. There's a difference between cheap, there's a difference between broke, and you guys gotta understand. You know, you guys got to see it.
So the way I go around that is I actually think I think about something like that. But the way I view it is more of like, okay, I wasn't born rich at all, bro. Like, thankfully right now I'm a little blessed and stuff, bro. But I've never been rich like that. So the way I view it is, bro, if I can spend, like, let's say, I think I did it with my Evo 1. I wanted a cinema camera. I wanted it, right?
I gotta go hold that thing. Or what is it, the FX6? You got that?
No, not yet.
No,
still on back ordered. So the whole thing is, if I can save and spend, I think with the Evo 1 and the whole package, I think I walked out with $12,000, right? But because I wanted it.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants it, they're gonna do whatever it takes to pay that. If you can do that for your cameras, for your lenses, why the hell are you gonna give someone else a discount? Go to Sammy's Cameras, go to B&H, tell them like, oh, that G Master 85 is $2,000. Can you do $1,400? What are they gonna say? No. Like, so you gotta view it as your own person. Like, if you're willing to spend the money on that lens, other people are willing to spend money on your project. That's just the way it is. That's the way I broke it down. So like with music videos or anything in general, this is my price, and you pay for it or you don't. But I'm not negotiating. I'm not dropping my price. And this is why I tell you guys, not just for weddings, outsource yourselves. Do a bunch of different type of shoots, so you're not just relying on this income. You have music videos, clothing brands, commercial work, weddings, real estate, whatever the hell you want to get into. You have all these different platforms. So when one's slow, you got the next one coming in. And that way you never have to undervalue yourself because of that. And to sum all that up, if you save money, you don't give a damn if you lose out on that $2,000 job. $2,000 might be a lot, but what if they wanted so much out of that $2,000? At that point, it's like $800 really if you broke it all down. Yeah. So don't go, don't get lost in all that. Like, just value yourself. Like, that's just really all I can say. And understand that if you're willing to do it, other people will do it as well for their own selves. They just want to like try to outwork you or whatever. But just especially in the wedding, like, they're really gonna value you, but you just have to have the work to back it up. Otherwise, don't just be stubborn and hard-headed and just be like, no, this is my price. If you're not there, it's okay to take a pay cut. Like, we all learn, we all grow different ways. But look around your surroundings, look around your area, look how other people are doing their videos. If you think you're better than them, if their prices are that and they're booking, then upscale it. Like, go a little bit higher because you are better. So like that's what I do. I look at the market around me. Around LA is freaking huge, bro. There's so many freaking filmmakers. But I look at everyone and I'm like, all right, this is around the range. Like, I see videographers charging like $4,000 for a wedding.
I'm laughing, bro, because you're right. LA is like, I had someone close to me inquire about like my photography package, and I'm like, oh well, my photography, like, it's about $700, and he told me, he's like, I know someone that could do it for $70. I said, what? He's like, yeah, I know somebody that could do it for $70. And I was just like, dude, there's something wrong there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always know somebody, but they're still yet inquiring for you.
That's what I'm
saying. It's
like,
there's something wrong there. The dude's going to show up with a T2i or something, or the dude's a college kid that doesn't have much experience. There's something always wrong with when they tell you I could get it for cheaper.
I'll be like, okay, go get it for cheaper.
Go get it for cheaper, bro.
That's
like,
cool.
It's not going to be the same.
Don't worry about losing out on that. But yeah, so that's really it for today. Hopefully you guys got some gems as far as wedding, videography, photography. I know we spoke more on the video side, but it's kind of the same thing for photos. It's like we're still in the same thing as far as the outcome of it. I will say definitely reach out to them. Try to get try to get fed and all that to be ahead of the game, so you're always ready with your camera on capturing the day. Make sure you're straight up front. Don't just have it in the contract. Always explain like, oh, the turnaround is this time, because sometimes they might not read the contract like that, and then they'll be like, oh, why is it taking you 2 months, 3 months to deliver it? But if you be straight up front with them on the email or on the phone call or in person, they will understand and they're gonna let you do your thing. Now, I will say try to knock it out like at least 2 weeks prior to your delivery date if you can, because that gives them more like they will reach out to the people like, oh, he was on time, he actually delivered a little bit before time, and it doesn't look at it, you don't look like the guy just delivered the day of the 2 months or 3 month turnaround, because then they're like, oh, what the hell, like why it took you this long? You know, it's hard sometimes. It's long videos. We're used to freaking 2 minute, 1 minute videos to make, so wedding could be difficult.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, and then also you're gonna learn a little bit of everything. So wedding, the benefit of it is you're gonna learn audio, you're gonna learn basically product photography with the rings, candid, you're gonna learn how to pose, you're gonna learn lighting. It's like, I think wedding videos is the best thing to get into because it's so run and gun that there's nothing you can prepare for. So when you finally have a place like a music video, commercial work, where there is a place to like take your time, a little bit more time and adjust and all that, they're gonna come out much better because you're so used to this run and gun shit. Now you're walking into like, oh, now I have 6 hours in the studio, like, and you're only like doing an interview and a couple of B-roll. So wedding is a good place. Don't just because a lot of people say it's stressful. I think those are the old people, like the people that were before, is the old generation. But the new ones, I see so many filmmakers having a great time. I don't know if you've been at weddings where the videographers just chilling and just filming, but there's no stress. You don't see stress in them because times have changed. It's not like before where we have digital cameras now. Everything's easier to record. Everything's just easier for us to capture the day. So yeah, don't be intimidated by it. Go all in, and I just wish y'all all success. Wedding is fun. Drink some few beers. Tell the groom and the bride you'll capture the shots better if you drink a little bit. That's what I do just to joke around, and they give me a shot with it. I hate shots, but yeah, that's what I do. But anyways, that's it. Pretty much it, right? We'll wrap it up.
I want to say thank you, Mario Visions, for having me here, man. Finally, after so long, we actually got an episode together. I'm curious to know if you guys learned anything, because this is raw talk. If you guys learned any points from this, go ahead and let us know in the comments what you guys learned. If you guys picked up anything, I'm curious to know. I'm curious to see. And yeah, this is Rick Productions at Mario Visions. And
that's right, Mario Land Studio. Well, this is not Mario Land Studio. This is just Mario Visions headquarters. Mario Land's another place. But anyways, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed what you guys heard or saw. If you guys did see it, that's cool too. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Peace out.
cheers, man.
Cheers. And you know, we got to drink our beer.
We got to.
We call it Beer 30 here. Every 30 minutes we drink a beer at Mario Vision Studios.
Every 30 minutes?
Every 30, Beer 30.
Oh, shit.
Not explain. Imagine.
That's what you got this one.
That's Beer 30.
Like, hey, time's up, everybody.
Yeah, if you guys can't see, there's like a time limit here. So this is pretty cool. Like if you put it at 30 minutes, it shows you like a 30-minute. We did go over 30 minutes, but I feel like it was a bunch of valuable content. So that's why I'm okay with this one being long. But yeah, it's not really Beer 30. It's really just to keep us on track. So anyways, guys, peace out. Yeah, we went over.